Hey guys, it's Miss Wiesner, and I'm going to go over the Google Forms solving one-step integer equations. There were 5 problems that you all had to do based on a video that I did, and 5 problems is not a lot of practice, so I wanted to go ahead and go over the problems, show you how to do them. There's only 5 of them, and then we'll have some more practice problems coming up later on today. Thanks. Okay, number one, the first one, I noticed that many of you were getting this one correct, which is awesome. It's a standard equation, so you want to find the value of n needed to make the equation true. So in other words, solve for n. You want to get n by itself on the left-hand side of the equal sign. So what number is keeping n from being by itself? It's the 19. So the opposite of positive 19 or adding 19 is negative 19 or minus 19. So n equals, whoops, that's ugly 9. That's 10, and that becomes a 3. Whoops, so it's 21. Now, some of you wrote in n equals 21, and some people entered in 21. It accepted both answers. I've set up a Google form before, and that's what I've done. Okay, so moving on to the next one. Let's see if I can just slide this up without having to pause the video. Okay, this one, a lot of people had some issues with this one, and so I want to spend some time with this. Adam and Blake solved the equation shown. Who solved their equation correctly? Well, what you have to do is actually solve, well, you can do 2 things. You can solve both equations to see which one was solved correctly, or you can plug in the value that Adam got for x and plug it into his equation, and plug in the value that Blake got for his answer and plug it in for x. That's one way. And then another way would be just to solve the equations yourself and try to figure out which one works. I'll show you both ways. Starting off with the harder way. Let's do Adam's. Okay, so to get x by itself, what's the opposite of minus 12? Which would be add 12. So x equals 53. Well, poor Adam got 29. So I wonder what he did. He looks like he subtracted, didn't he? And then Blake, x plus 14 equals 52. And by the way, once you realize that it's not Adam, so it can't be both Adam and Blake. Okay, so now we just reduced our choices down to 2. So minus 14, looks like he added, so he's going to be wrong. Oops. So that'd be 38. So neither Adam nor Blake solved theirs correctly. But I want to show you another way that you could solve this. Let's see if I can't erase this. Well, another way that you can attack this problem is say, all right, if Adam thinks his answer is 29, then when I plug in 29 for x, then 29 minus 12 should give me 41. So 29 minus 12, I always subtract vertically, I don't know why. 9 minus 2 is 7, that's 17. So 29 does not work in the problem. So here we go again. We know it's not Adam, and so then it can't be both Adam and Blake. So let's plug in 66, and for x, so we have 66 plus 14 equals 52. Well, that is, first of all, it doesn't look right. I know it's not right because we just did it. That's not right. There is something that I used to say all the time, and I used to have a poster hanging up. It says, don't just answer the question, but question your answer. So if either one of these would have just taken 2 seconds to look at whether their answer made sense, then they would have seen that they made a mistake. But anyway, it was just a problem. Life goes on. Okay, now to number 3. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe this one was the most missed of all of them. So it says, which equation has a solution of x equals 2? Here again, you have 2 ways that you could solve it. You could work out each equation to see which one equals 2, or you can plug in 2 for x and see which one works there. So I think the easiest way that for me would be to plug in x in for 2. So a would be 2 over 8 equals 16. Is 2 divided by 8 equals 16? No. So this next one, negative 2 times 2 equals 4. Well, a negative times a positive is a negative, so that's not right. And then 17 times 2, let's suppose you don't feel like multiplying this out. You could wait and save that one. We know it's not A, we know it's not B. And then that would be 34. So C looks promising, but I'm not going to just go all crazy about that yet. I'm just going to double check. Well, this doesn't look right. 2 minus 14 equals 16. No, that doesn't work. So the answer is C. That's the best way that I know to tell you to solve this. If you want me to show you how to do it as equations, then I'll do it quickly. Okay, for the first one, letter A, well, if I'm dividing by 8, then the opposite of that is to multiply. So 16 times 8, I don't even have to finish the problem. It's going to be way, more than 2. So mark that out. The opposite of multiplying by negative 2 would be dividing by negative 2. And as we stated earlier, a positive divided by a negative, because they have the same rules, that would give me a negative. What's 4 divided by negative? That would give me a negative 2. So is that 2? No, it's not. 17, we already know this one's right. So if you divide both sides by 17, and if you didn't feel like doing that, you could wait and then do the one that's easier here. To get x by itself, add 14 to both sides. Well, we know that there's no way, no how, that is going to be equal to 2. That's what, 30? So D's not right. So C has to be right. But you can still finish dividing it out and figure out that it equals 2. When you're working on these problems by yourself, and you get to a problem like this, and you say, Miss Weezer hadn't told me how to do this. I don't know how to do this. I ain't doing this. Well, that wouldn't be, well, maybe what you would want to do, but don't do that. Just think about, what is the area of a rectangle? The area of a rectangle is length times width. So they're saying that x times 13 equals 221. Suppose you didn't know how to find the volume or the area of a rectangle. Google it, Google. And I also will try to post it's called Math Cheats, but it's a PDF packet that has bunches of pages. It has almost everything you need to know about math. Not answers, but anyway, I'll talk about that more if I decide to do it. So you divide both sides by 13. So 13 will go into 221. And I know y'all probably use the calculator, and I'm looking like a dummy over here working this out by hand, but anyway, I'm not gonna sweat it. I probably won't get it wrong, and then if I do, then don't laugh. It's 13 times 7, 91. I'm stupid. Yes. Duh. So x equals 13. So in other words, they threw you a curveball there and they told you what the area was. They said that this was 221. So if you multiplied these two together, what would this have to be to equal 221? Okay, to save on some time, this is a word problem. Look, I'm just going to tell you, I've been in classes where why didn't you come up with an equation? Well, because when there's a problem that I haven't shown y'all yet where you count, like there's 30 animal heads, and like some of them are turkeys and some of them are pigs. So how many turkeys are there and how many pigs are there? And there's 70 legs. Well, there's a big equation, algebra type equation. Well, you know what? I just drew little turkeys and pigs and I figured out the answer on my own. So an equation is not imperative. And then this is a situation where it's not. Because it says in CBS 2010, the average cost of a Super Bowl ticket was $3,509. This is less than the cost in 2015. Right now, I don't even care how much less it is. I just know that the one in 2015 costs more. Well, what are they asking us? How much was a ticket in 2015? Well, if it was more than 3509, I know it's not B, I know it's not C, and I know it's not D. Well, how's that for you? Well, let's do it the math way. So, 3509 equals X, which is the 2015. Plus, oh shoot, sorry, I knew that was wrong, minus. See, I still get a little twisted up with these. Now, so let's say you find the answer, and then let's suppose you're supposed to come up with an equation, and you didn't use an equation to get the answer. Well, you can kind of go backwards and psych them out, I guess. I hate to say that word, but you can see, well, if I add 441 to both sides, I get $3,950. So, I guess the main thing I hope that you got on this one is that some test taking strategies. Obviously, 5 questions was not a lot for you to practice, and so we will be doing some more practice problems before you have a mini quiz on Wednesday and the big quiz on Thursday. Peace out.